50 Cent is once again right in the middle of drama with Diddy, and this time, things got real strange real fast. After 50 dropped his Netflix documentary about Diddy, everyone started talking about the wild things Diddy has been connected to over the years. And even though the documentary showed both sides and made it clear that Diddy wasn't officially charged in certain cases, he and his team still hated it.
So now that footage goes to the highest bidder. And 50 had to be the highest bidder to get the, this is business. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't in love with you. Everybody ain't dedicated. Everybody ain't loyal to the point of stupidity.
They didn't like the behind-the-scenes footage 50 used. They didn't like the interviews. They sent Netflix a cease and desist and even started talking about lawsuits. But the craziest part? People are saying Diddy might have sent a threat straight to 50's doorstep.
And I hope 50 Cent got another documentary in the arsenal, because I ain't gonna lie, Diddy has finally met his motherfucking match. I love to see it. So 50 Cent had posted that Diddy sent him flowers from jail to his club appearance in Miami. And he's alleging that it's like supposed to be a threat, because y'all know that when he released that documentary not too long ago, Diddy did try to send him a cease and desist. Flopped. Not happening. So he's taking these flowers as, like funeral flowers. Like, y'all know when they get into the streets, certain shit means certain shit. So they get it, even if we don't get it, they get it. So if he's saying that these are supposed to be like a message, then they supposed to be a message. But 50 Cent responded with, what kind of is this? Diddy send you flowers at Club 11, LOL? Why all the foreplay get busy? You know I'm stupid. Yeah, like real stupid. If you know 50 Cent, but you didn't know 50 Cent. Diddy, wrap it up. Wrap it up. You did what you did. He exposed what you did. He exposed more of what you did. Wrap it up. Then he also said, a warning, I'm 90s grimy. You don't warn me, LOL. If you don't know what he mean by I'm 90s grimy, go do your research.
And 50 isn't new to this life. He's dealt with real gangsters before. Supreme nearly took his life. Jimmy Henchman tried to take him out more than once. So when Diddy tries something slick, 50 doesn't exactly panic. This wasn't random. Sending funeral flowers has a long history in the streets. Even Al Capone used to send flowers to enemies to let them know something bad was coming. 50 did this once too. Cameron said 50 sent him black roses with a tiny coffin back in their beef days. This could, however, just be theatrics, because Diddy's team is also fighting to stop this documentary and take it down.
Overnight, lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs trying to stop the release of a Netflix docuseries due out today. The series contains never-before-seen footage of Combs debating strategy with his lawyers in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last year. It also includes video of Combs greeting fans in Harlem.
I'll accept it.
And then saying this about the interaction moments later.
I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on. I got it. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath. Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with, like that's what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? Oh. It's like 150 hugs.
Now, Combs' lawyers are demanding Netflix pull the series, threatening legal action, claiming Netflix is using stolen footage that was never authorized for release as part of what they call a shameful hit piece. The series is executive produced by Combs' longtime rival, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and director Alex Stapleton, who said, quote, "We obtained the footage legally and have the necessary rights," end quote. Before the cease and desist demand was sent yesterday, Stapleton and Jackson sat down with our Robin Roberts to discuss the series.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
It's not personal.
The show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. Not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this.
They think 50 Cent's obsession with Diddy has reached unhealthy levels and are seemingly asking why 50 would do this in the first place. Well, turns out 50 actually hates Diddy for an extremely personal reason he never talks about. And the person who revealed this to us is actually one of Diddy's former artists, Chopper. According to Chopper, this whole situation didn't start with just one moment. It was a bunch of things stacking up over the years. He said that during 50's early career, before he blew up, he wrote music that went through Bad Boy. At the same time, Diddy wanted to sign one of 50's artists, but 50 didn't want to work with him. That created the first crack between them.
Here's 50 Cent's caption. "Oh my goodness, itty bitty Diddy wants me dead. I have to lay low. I think I'm gonna hide out at the playoff game tonight. Because in one of the dude's testimony, he's saying that Diddy had a gun for 50 or something, like that he didn't like 50.
No, what it was is 50 Cent in his worst times in this era wrote songs for J-Lo and Diddy. Well, he wrote songs for J-Lo for Diddy. That's number one. And he wanted to sign 50, but 50 just wasn't rocking with Diddy. Number one. Number two, Diddy Get Back was 50 baby mama on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Being petty. So 50 and Diddy's situation is a little more steeper and different than what people think it is, you dig? I just think in my mind, 50 is a street dude. Diddy is not a street dude, but he want to be a street dude. So he got the money to be a gorgeous gangster, AKA do street shit. But what it come down to is 50 didn't want to rock with Diddy, even though 50 wrote songs over there at Bad Boy. And then when 50 started popping, Diddy was just envious of 50 really blowing up. That's all I see. And he his baby mama on purpose.
Chopper explained it simply. 50 is petty, and if he feels disrespected, he'll kick you when you're already down. And we've all seen it. 50 has been taking shots at Diddy for years, especially once 50 got bigger and Diddy realized he couldn't control him. Chopper also talked about his own time around Bad Boy and how things behind the scenes felt very different than what the public saw. When the cameras were rolling, everything looked professional. But when the cameras were off, Chopper said he started noticing behavior that made him really, really uncomfortable.
Did you ever see anything that let you know or made you think Diddy was gay?
Yeah. What do you want me to elaborate?
Can you elaborate on it? Yeah, if you can.
I just left the Bad Boy Making the Band situation. I signed over there with Bad Boy South. Kim, of course. Kim, rest in peace to Kim, which is Quincy's mama and Christian's mama, and the twins' mama. But Kim was rooting for me. Kim and Half Pia, they really liked me a lot. I signed to Bad Boy South just before the Jesus, Boys in the Hood, and Jeezy et al, and the Jots and all this. Well, I signed to Bad Boy South for whatever I signed for, which is a substantial amount of money. I kept trying to get the budget for the Lil Daddy single that Ryan Leslie produced for me. It took me 5 to 6 months to try to get it. When Diddy finally opened the budget up for me, I was in New York. And then I'm just minding my business, enjoying myself. And, we feel like we got a hit, with Chop. And everybody's excited, Half PR, the Kims and all that. They all excited about it. Well, one time I'm at Daddy's house and Half PR called me. And he was like, get Puff for me. A lot of people called him Diddy, but Half PR called him Puff. I love Half PR because he's Haitian, I'm Haitian. So it was a Haitian thing. It was always love for us. I still got love for Half. Half PR was like, put Diddy on the phone. I gotta holler at him about something. Okay. So I go into the A room. So I'm like, Paulie was there, his big security. It's one of his main securities, actually. And I'm like, Paulie, say, bro, Diddy, Half want to talk to Puff. And Paulie was like, I can't do that until Puff green like that. So I put Half on the phone on speaker and Paulie looked the other way. When Paulie looked the other way, I walked into the room, opened the door, and I seen Diddy and a white man, very powerful white man, groping, grabbing each other's crotch, kissing on each other. When I seen that, I shut the door like, whoa.
Yeah, Diddy did do that. And since all this has happened, we have also gotten Jaguar Wright's reaction to the whole documentary. And boy, her reaction is about just as explosive as you'd expect. Right from the start of the documentary, she points out something that's really interesting that not many people noticed. Diddy is literally filming himself as he comes back to New York days before turning himself in. He brought a whole camera crew with him, like he was directing his own movie. Jaguar says no real lawyer would ever tell someone to do that.
Well, The whole point of him filming this whole thing was because I'm sure that he planned on doing his own documentary. This is an extreme narcissist you're talking about. Extreme. He's sitting there with feds, an eye shot away from his hotel suite, filming his hotel room, and he's looking at them and he's filming them right back. He's literally saying in certain parts, yeah. Make sure you're filming all of this because we need to get some, some cutaway shots.
That's wild.
No, he was literally, did nobody pay attention to that?
Oh, I saw it.
Like he said, yeah, make sure you're filming all of this. We need this for cutaways. Like you're sitting here collecting footage, like a director, like an AD.
Yeah. What does that say to the cameraman that, can anybody be bought or, he said, the cameraman said he recorded all this for Diddy and then of course Diddy got locked up, so.
Yeah, Diddy got locked up and he didn't get paid. A lot of people seem to have that experience.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Dealing with Combs Enterprise. They come in and they work and they don't get paid.
She also questions how that footage even leaked in the first place. That's when she brings up Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo. In the documentary, Diddy keeps bragging that he's been an excellent client, doing everything the lawyer told him to do. But Jaguar notices something bigger. Diddy wasn't worried about victims or charges. He was worried about public perception.
Sat there and said, we need comms. He's sitting there talking like an evil dictator. We need comms. We need a way into this conversation. We're losing, he said. We're losing. Losing what? What were you losing? But the key words that he said that were so important were, we need to be able to be speaking to the potential jurors. He said, you might only be the guy that watches CNN, but there's 9 billion people in the world, and 7 billion of them are on Instagram or TikTok. We need to have control of that. He said, we need to know how these potential jurors are thinking. That's what he said.
Facts.
So what does that mean? He hadn't even been arrested yet. He hadn't even been taken into custody yet. Damian Williams hadn't come forward yet with a list of the charges that they were charging him with and what they were taking him to trial for. That didn't happen until December. So once again, they were losing? Losing what? Losing at what? We need to have control of comms. We need to make sure that we know how the potential jurors are thinking.
To Jaguar, it's clear that they were already trying to influence the jury pool long before the case truly started. She also talked about how hard it is for people to get justice when the people in power seem protected from every angle. Even if someone goes to the police, even if a special prosecutor steps in, cases get reassigned, people get moved around, and everything feels stacked against the victims.
Look at what happened. Look at the outcome.
Hey.
What did I say to you guys? Who can these people run to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is screwing you. Look at Aubrey O'Day. The boss's boss don't care. You could go to the police, all bought and paid for, and even if you get a special prosecutor, like Damian Williams, they can just be reassigned to another case. And then Maureen Comey comes in. We can't even begin to talk about that jury. We can't even begin. Not yet. We got so much more to discuss, don't we?
We got so much more to discuss. And as we delve deeper, first and foremost,
happened. I want you to think about that. Look at what happened from that. See, and this is why this documentary is I'm not calling it a documentary. I'm calling it a mockumentary. That's what I call it.
No, not Spinal Tap.
I call it a mockumentary. I feel like this whole thing is mocking me.
Jaguar thinks the documentary was a bit of a joke, and that the only new thing for the public was Kirk Burroughs finally admitting out loud that Diddy assaulted him. She says plenty of people already knew, but nobody had said it publicly before. She reminds everyone that Kirk Burroughs has been around since the beginning. He's seen things people have whispered about for over 30 years. For those who don't know what exactly happened, here is the context.
I had 25% of the company. I didn't know why he needed to get that back from me and then give it back to me again. I didn't understand that. That's like a trick. Like, okay, here, I gave it to you, now give it back, and don't worry, I'm gonna give it right back to you. I didn't want to give it up. So he came into my office one day unexpected, him and Kenny Marsalis, they had it planned out. Kenny had the briefcase with all the stock certificates in it, and Diddy had the bat. Not like, I'm gonna beat out of you with the bat, but he had the bat like, man, we got to do this. This has to happen. I didn't feel I was gonna get beat down in that office, in all honesty. I got people that could jump out of the shadows in a minute. I wasn't threatened by him. What I was messed up over was the fact that I started this company with you from day zero, and now the one solid thing that you told me I had, you want to take that back and do a return to me on that at this critical time that we're renegotiating and getting a step up on the contract. When he told me it was about all of that renegotiating and that I should trust, I did, begrudgingly, angry, upset. It wasn't right. I did it. He got the stock back. I went on, tried to get over that, kept doing my job, doing what I had to do, delivering everything. And once again, I was caught up in the job. I forgot all about it. And next thing you know, we had the snafu. I was fired. And he just said, oh, okay, bye. And since he had never given me the stock back, he never said that he would pay me anything or give me anything. He just avoided me all these years.
And unsurprisingly, one of the main things this documentary shows us is why Diddy is the way he is. Jaguar has said before that she believes Diddy himself was victimized long before music ever entered the picture, and that was straight up confirmed in the documentary.
People really don't want to look closer into his childhood and to what his mama had going on in that house. God knows what he saw and what happened to him in his own mama house. All of those strangers, them up involved, looking around, seeing what was going on. And let's just be clear, it sounds like her house was a house of, professional freak-offs. So who knows what he saw or what could have happened to him while she was busy entertaining people and pouring and getting tips, as she would say, for her after-hour life.
Oh, yeah. He was, I'm going to say he was surprised to hear that.
School bus driver. No, was he surprised or was he like, zip it, you talking too much? Because that's what it looked like to me. It looked like you talking a little bit too much. They don't need to know about that. While she was sitting up there, because I was a bus driver and I was this, and I worked at the after hours. And I would pour them drinks and they would give me big tips.
She even brings up Diddy's father. Diddy once admitted he felt a strange relief when he learned his dad was a hustler or gangster. To Jaguar, that tells its own story about how he shaped his identity and why he wanted control so badly later in life.
He wanted to say that he was a sigh of relief is a wild thing to say. that your daddy was a gangster or a hustler, or that's what you heard that he was?
Well, I mean, like Tim said, they had a bunch of blaxploitation movies being played around the house all the time. They grew up with the Mac playing. They grew up with Superfly playing. Like, I mean, if that's what you got going on, you got two women in the house and there's no men around, and these are what the little boys are watching. You got basketball players coming over late at night. You got hustlers coming over, PIMPs coming over, women who look like they were modeling for Jet Magazine coming over. Like, it sounds like the nature of the environment is what shaped their perception of what cool was. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure for him it was, oh man, that's who my dad was. You know, we glorified these characters. Like, even if you look at Biggie Smalls' name, Biggie Smalls is a character from an old Portier Cosby film, Uptown Saturday Night, I believe. 40th Street Black and all of those characters that they had in the film. Biggie Smalls was played by Calvin Lockhart. Big gangster from, I believe, St. Louis. Like, all of these characters.
Yeah. Without question.
Yeah. So I'm sure for him, it made him feel good because all of that stuff that he was watching, he really came from that. But that was really his legacy. And yeah, I'm sure for him, it felt good to know that his dad was this big hustler who turned out to be a snitch, who got his brains removed from his head in a very, very, very unpleasant manner.
Now, Jaguar also brought up something really interesting, and maybe underdiscussed in the process: the tragedy at the City College celebrity basketball game, the one that took 9 lives. This was truly one of Diddy's lowest moments, and he was allowed to get away with it. If a man thinks he can get away with murder, he can get away with anything. Gene Deal has openly talked about the tragic 1991 City College stampede, where 9 people lost their lives. He explained that he was working security that night, and in his eyes, the whole disaster could have been prevented.
Well, we were scheduled to do the outside of the college, outside of the gymnasium, because that's what my team was good at. You understand? I had 18 guys prepared to be outside to make sure that we could get the crowd in order. You understand? Before there was any crowd, you got to set the things up before you even get the crowd like that, especially in those type of things. And back then in the days, we used to have dogs and everything. I would have a guy with 2 dogs walking the street, making sure people go down the lane, you know what I'm saying, and don't bum rush the doors. You know, people ain't bum rushing the doors when you got dogs out there. You know what I mean? So, and it's crazy that we had to do parties like that, but that was one of our security things that we did. So now, Puff called me and said, yo, Gene, we only need 8 guys. I said, 8 guys? You can't, ain't no way you're gonna do the City College with 8 guys. He said, no, Heavy D, because him and Heavy D was doing a party together. He was like, yo, Heavy D want the FOIs to do the outside. I said, the FOIs? He said, yeah. So I said, yo, fuck it, I ain't gonna do it. You know, and then my man, who's my partner, Slick, said, yo, man, we're gonna go ahead and do it, man. And we just gonna get a couple of bottles, just gonna chill, and, you know, we just go outside. We do the downstairs. So Puff told me that, you know, he just wanted us to do inside the gym to make sure that nobody, you know, be over the celebrities like that. That's what he wanted my team to do. But most of the celebrities gonna have their own security anyway. You know what I'm saying? That was just a way to cut our security off anyway. So he cut the security and he got the FOIs, and the FOIs left their post, and that's how the people bum rushed the door, and 9 people died by going down those corridors.
According to Gene, the outside security that replaced them walked away from their posts, and that's when the crowd rushed the doors. With no one controlling the flow, people were pushed into the narrow hallways, and that's how 9 people ended up losing their lives.
And you blame Diddy for that?
Yeah, I do. It's his fault. But it's Jessica's fault for shutting the door. Because had she not shut the door, people would have just walked in the gym. And you'd had a gym full of people. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody would have probably died. It's her fault and it's his fault.
So you really think it's Diddy's fault? Why you believe that?
Because you don't cut security to save $1. You don't cut security when security is the most important thing that you gotta have at these places. And that's what he did. He didn't listen. He didn't listen. And I even told him, I said, yo, if the FOIs don't get a barricade away from this door, people gonna die tonight. I told that to him. And what happened? 9 people died that night.
What was his reaction to the 9 people dying?
I didn't talk to him for a while. He used to come around with us with the same gang, and he just say, yo, he just speak to Gene. He like, yo, what up, Gene? I'll be like, yo, what up? I didn't speak to him until after that Suge Knight stuff that they had with Jake in Atlanta. That's when I started back really speaking to him.
Wow, because you felt the type of way about what he did?
Nah, come on, bro. 9 kids died, bro. I was pumping the chest of one little boy when my man was crying, talking about, yo, this is my first time him being out. This is the first time him being out, bro. My mama gonna kill me. I'm pumping on the chest of a little 17-year-old boy. How would you feel?
Since the documentary dropped, there has been an outcry against Diddy and all the horrible things he has done to people. Even major podcasts like Valuetainment have weighed in, saying Diddy is the lowest of the low.
Understand, to me, Tupac was as a young kid coming up, he played a very big role as
in your painting.
Yeah, he's
the most influential people in your life.
To me, that guy was so to me, you took this guy out. I investigated a lot of people based on the reports and things that we talked to a lot of different people. It always comes back to Diddy.
What do you think was Diddy's motivation? Is it money? Is it power?
Evil?
Is it psychopathy? Is it Machiavellianism?
And envy, control, limelight. He has to be the face and nobody can have it.
Rob Gorley, the bottom of the song?
Envy. He has to be the face. He has to be the limelight. Nobody can have it more than him.
And obviously, he's the reason that he became super, super, super famous. He was the producer for Biggie. And Biggie was numero uno.
Yep.
1 and 2, Tupac and Biggie.
And the guy who was partners with, the guy that brought him up, type in Diddy's first mentor. This is the guy that Diddy went and worked as his assistant at a young age that took him in. Andre Harrell.
Who?
Andre Harrell takes him to the founder of Uptown Records. Yeah. And you know what Andre Harrell does?
What does he do?
He fires him because he says, Diddy's getting out of control, disrespecting me. He fires Diddy and tells Diddy, you can leave and you can take only one client. And guess who he takes? The only client he takes is, he says, you can take Biggie. Nobody else is coming with you. He allowed Diddy to leave with only Biggie, and that's when he starts Bad Boy, and he gives 25% to that guy and 75% to his mom.
Interesting.
This is the guy that mentored him. That's the guy everybody wanted to work for.
That's the 25% guy?
No, Andre Harrell is the founder of Uptown Records, which everybody was under. He mentored Diddy. And he's a legend in the game.
Diddy became bigger than him.
If you know Andre Harrell, he's like a legit G.
Yeah.
So if Diddy is now losing the public perception war, something he was already afraid of, and having former crimes come to light, could we see a renewed case against him? Let us know in the comments below.